One, dos, y tres. Um, Good evening, teacher. We are going to present about sedentary lifestyles. The members of the group are Daniel Aguilar, Antonia Carreño, Luis Castro, and Vicente Barrientos. And the introduction, physical activity would include the state of the rest of the human body and all those movements that leads of a minimal expenditure of energy that do not significantly impact the metabolic activity at the organism. They who consider the concepts of physical inactivity and sedentary to be equivalent, a sedentary person is defined as someone who does not engage in physical activity and or sports with a frequency to equal to or greater than 3 30-minute sessions per week. For problems and contextualization, the society have modified its lifestyles, which have been gradually affected by sociological and sociocultural factors such as the lack of the public space, the automatication of cities, the computerization of society, the lack of security, the need for immediately results in what is undertaken, the incorporation of women into the labor market, among others. These behaviors promote the sedentary lifestyles, decreasing the motivation to practice physically. And what can we do?
So the factors that stand out the most in the context are pandemic, limited green areas, work and academic overload, socioeconomic status, and finally, physical activity.
Or theoretical support for start the pandemic, the social isolation which has arranged to prevent the spread of the COVID-19, forced to change the way of planning to exercise in gyms, clubs, or outdoors. Physical inactivity is associated with multiple determinant health effects. During decreased aerobic capacity, decreased muscle mass, and tonic capacity. It has also been determined that inactivity regress of its cause generates a reduction in cardiac functionality and an increase of the risk of developing coronary heart and suffering solely of the lung.
Work and academic overload, the sedentary lifestyle, monotony of activities, recurring tasks are the most frequent problems in society and even in the educational field, intervening in a negative way in physical, emotional, and mental health, damaging attention, academic performance, and causing levels low physical activity in students of educational institution. He does attend class, he is restless, his pain distract are fast with greater prevalence at the educational level because inattention has become a problem in recent years. That is why students don't reach the minimum level of knowledge, representing 56% at the primary level and 61% at the secondary level, according to UNESCO statistical data.
Socioeconomic status. Science in 2005 found out that upper class inclined to activities related to sport. And Marcus in 1994 point out that the level of physical activity has an important relationship with the socioeconomic level of the subject. And the higher in the income, the lower the degrees of the sedentary lifestyles.
Physical activity. It is suggested that people do at least 30 minutes of regular activity of moderate intensity with a frequency of at least 5 times a week. Moderate physical activity is understood as the form of exercise in which there is an oxygen consumption between 45 and 59% of the maximum consumption capacity of the subject, and a heart rate between 50 and 69% of maximum frequency. The practice of physical activity constitutes a protective factor for the mental and physical health of the population, which is why it is associated with the broader concept of health. From the aspect of promotion and prevention of healthy lifestyle to the relevant role of the practice of controlled physical exercise in the therapeutic aspect of some diseases.
Evidence. Here are the results of a survey done through Google Forms that measured the level of physical activity, where 40 people participated in a range of 18 to 46 years. The survey tells us that 42.5% of the people don't do vigorous physical activities.
The third question, 37.5% don't carry out moderate physical activities.
The third result shows us that just 22.5% of the participants work for at least 10 continuous minutes during a week.
Among the participants, the hours when sitting that were repeated the most are 5 hours, but the hours vary from 1 to 18 hours.
Possible solutions to counteract sedentary lifestyles. Increase the amount of green areas so that people feel motivated to exercise or take a walk with the family. Always choose stairs instead of elevators. This will increase metabolic energy consumption. Take active breaks during the work and academic day. This will allow people to feel comfortable and with more energy to continue working. Finally, use the bicycle to generate electricity. Although it is not common, it is a solution that can give good results at the individual, family, community level to counteract the effects of sedentary lifestyles. So the two main limitations to reduce the effects of the sedentary lifestyles are the economic resource of the community and the time of each person, because the pandemic has raised the cost of things, living very little budget for public works, while people do not have enough free time for recreation due to the long hours of work and online classes.
Well, in conclusion, we can see that there is a society that has a high level of sedentary lifestyles, low physical activity, and other factors that contribute to these problems. But we also have solutions or ideas that can help improve and combat the problem of sedentary lifestyles in our region. Thank you for the attention.